The product of two matrices is found by first making sure that you can multiply. So this, can you multiply? So can you multiply the matrices? This has to be true in order for you to be able to multiply. So just like adding and subtracting, the matrices needed to be the same size. When we're finding the product of two matrices, the number of columns in the first matrix must equal the number of rows in the second matrix. So order matters. Order matters. The order in which we multiply most definitely matters. This is not the commutative property where 3 times 7 equals 7 times 3. Multiplying in a certain order with matrices produces one result, and multiplying the opposite way sometimes doesn't even work. So I'm going to show you the resulting matrix. This is the resulting matrix. Once you get a yes on the first part, the resulting matrix is going to have as many rows as the first matrix. So as many rows as the first matrix. And as many columns as the second matrix. And there's a neat way that I show this so that you don't have to remember all these words, but you can always definitely refer back to what I've just said right here. So let's do this. We've got matrix A and matrix B. Is it possible to multiply A times B? Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the size of A. A is a 2 by 2, 2 rows by 2 columns. And B is a 2 by 3. So we look at whether or not we can. So this tells us those are equal. This tells us we can multiply. And this is the cool part. The outside numbers tell you the size. So the result is going to equal a 2 by 3, a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, I'm going to resize that, make it just a little bit smaller so I can use some room over here, move it over. And here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to multiply that by 5, 6, 0, 7, 8, 1. So this is matrix A and this is matrix B. We are going to take, now I'm gonna be moving this highlighter. First row times the first column. So look, this is row 1 and this is column 1. So the rows of the first matrix times the columns of the second. Now how is that going to work? The columns of the second. I'm going to show you how it's going to work. So we're going to have a 2 by 3, but I'm going to need a lot of room because I'm going to show some work here. We're going to take row 1, column 1, times row 1, column 1. So 1 times 5 plus row 1, column 2, row 1, column 1. row 2, column 1. So 1 times 5, 1 times 5, plus 2 times 7. 2 times 7. So row 1, column 1 result is 5 plus 14, which is 19. Okay, let's do that again. Now if I move this highlight over here to column 2, I'm just going to move over, this is column 1, now I'm moved over to column 2, and we're working with row 1. Row 1 is highlighted. Let me show you, see, row 1 is highlighted, row 1 is highlighted, so we're still in row 1, okay? This time row 2 is highlighted, or column 2 rather is highlighted. That means we're going to be in column 2. We're going to take 1 times 6, 1 times 6, 1 times 6, plus 2 times 8, 2 times 8. And 6 plus 16 is 22. So this is going to be our answer right here. 19, 22. Now we're going to move this over, and we're going to figure out the third column, column 3. We're going to have 1 times 0, 1 times 0, plus 2 times 1, 2 times 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. So we are all done with row 1. Remember, our result is going to be 2 rows, 3 columns. So we're done with row 1. So what do we do now? We take this highlight and we're going to move it to row 2. We're going to take this highlight and I'm going to come back here to column 1. And we're going to have 3 times 5 plus 4 times 7. 15 plus 28 is 43. Move over to column 2. 3 times 6, 3 times 6 plus 4 times 8 is 18 plus 32, and 18 plus 32 is 50. We're going to move this highlighter over. We're going to have 3 times 0, 3 times 0 plus 4 times 1. That's going to give us a 4. And that is our final answer right here. It's a little tough. It's a little tough. Let's see the next one. B times A. So this time we're going to take B, which is a 2 by 3, and we're going to try and multiply it times A, which is a 2 by 2. So remember what we did. We looked at this number on the inside, number on the inside. These are not equal. Therefore, you cannot multiply. So it's great when that happens because that's all the work that needs to be done. Just tell them you can't multiply and you're done. It's undefined. Cannot multiply. They might even use the word undefined. Undefined is a great word. The product of B times A is undefined.